We are live, guys. Doing it live. Doing it live. Well, hold on. Why? Why when we go live, your audio goes crazy?
My audio went whack.
There you go. Now you sound good.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you perfect now, my friend.
All right, well, good. Well, let's rewind. Welcome to another wonderful episode of What the FiGPiN?
What the FiGPiN?
Oh man, episode 53. We're already putting more in the books. It's amazing how fast each Tuesday comes around, but we look forward to it every Tuesday night. Thank you everybody for joining us. John, how are you?
Man, I'm doing well. Doing well. Much better than last week for sure. Are you feeling better, man?
I am feeling much better. I think I'm at like 98% now, so it's getting much better. But
yeah,
I'll tell you what, I found out after that show that Casey had doubled down on the hot toddy recipe. So instead of 1.5 shots, it was 3 shots of, I think it was Jack Daniels or something I put down in that drink trying to get me to feel better. So after the show, I got off, was playing with Paxton. I could barely stand up. I walked in the living room like, what is in this drink? I might need another one. I can't believe I'm such a lightweight. She was like, well, I was like, goodness gracious.
Casey got you drunk before our show or during our show, actually?
During the show, just
Wow.
trying to make me feel better. And I thought John was just joking when he's like, man, everybody in the audience said you were slurring your words and stuff. And here I am just sauced up.
That explains a lot, my friend. That totally explains a lot.
Man. Darn that Casey girl of mine. Oh, well, it was fun.
Love it.
Just
Love
water
it.
Today for me. Just water. No more drinking around this parts of town.
Sounds good, man. Very cool. Before we go ahead and introduce our guest tonight, can we go ahead and give some shout outs to the chat?
Let's say hi.
Van Harris with the iconic pew pew. NMS, Colton Kirkpatrick's Frozen Sith, Stephen Morsch, Indiana Matrix, Animus, Pinup, Wookie Paul, very cool. Getty Up, Goon, Colorful Jamie, James Robinette. Welcome, guys. Dr. Graybush, man, we haven't seen you in a long time. Hope you're doing well. Professor FiGPiN is in the house. Boosted Busta, SP Dragon Ball, Jason Nelson, Nearby Leprechaun, Ruben Reyes, Vader Joe. My gosh, man, there's so many people I can't go ahead and keep up. Cines, Queen Nerd, very cool. Casey. I forgot to tell Casey saying I forgot to tell him it was a double. My bad.
When she means double, it's 1.5. That's a triple.
Very cool. And then the last few we have are Viegas, Vader Joe, Derek. How are you, my friend?
Hi,
and Jib DC. Very cool.
Jib.
A lot of names I recognize.
Yep. A lot of great people in the audience, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Definitely members of the community we hear from very, very often. It's a pleasure to have you all. Well, without further ado, what'd she say?
Jason Nelson, Sofa shoots the first missile over the bow. Or the bow. I'm not
Shaun, are you familiar with SOFA?
Don't think so.
SOFA is one of our fun acronyms, like what the FiGPiN, FLAP, things like that. That stands for Significant Others. What was the significant others of FiGPiN addicts, right? So,
okay.
Our ladies are part of it. They team up anytime they can to make sure that we're staying in line, and there's a force of them there.
Oh yeah. Got one of those myself sitting. She's already gone to bed because she wasn't feeling well herself. So, yeah, I got one of those too.
Well, our wish is that she gets better very, very fast. We have a remedy for a hot toddy if she needs it.
Might have to get that from you.
There you go. Very cool.
Well, I will say, I think just like our significant others, I think your significant other is a very supportive person, because that backdrop you have behind you is very cool and impressive. So without further ado, everybody in the audience, people watching, let's give a warm welcome to Shaun, aka Kyber Curator. It's a pleasure to have you on and finally get to chat with you.
Oh, appreciate it. I really enjoy being on your show here so far, and I mean, I'm looking forward to a good show with you guys.
Heck yeah.
So I do have to ask, do you have a Maui hook hat on, or what's the hat?
No, this is
it looks
the
like the Maui
Mudhorn
hook from Moana.
No,
Oh,
it's
I see it now.
Mudhorn from
There you go.
from
I see it now.
Mando.
Mando. Yep. Okay. I thought you were just a big fan of Moana. That you had the like whole Maui hook thing going on there.
No. I actually found this at a local store, and my wife and I were actually at Galaxy's Edge this past weekend. I had a guy that came up and asked me about it, and asked me where I got it, and got some compliments on it. So
No,
very, very cool.
now that I see it, it's definitely awesome, man. Great hat. So very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Shaun, man, pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much. I guess the first question we'll ask is, how did you go ahead and get into FiGPiN, learn about FiGPiN? What brought you into the world of FiGPiN?
Well, honestly, I really didn't start collecting FiGPiNs until this past May. My first FiGPiN that I came across was a number of years back, was actually my, if you can see it, my the Deadpool Mini M25.
Very nice.
Heck yeah.
I found him at my local GameStop, where a buddy of mine used to be the store manager at, and I was really, really big into Deadpool. I've got a whole section off screen that you can't see of Deadpool stuff over here.
Nice.
And I saw those. I was like, that was pretty cool. Said, it's Deadpool. I got to grab it. Just the way I am. I got to grab it. And they had all except for one of them. So I grabbed 3 of the 4 that they had released, and had those kind of sitting, up on the wall with everything else. But it wasn't until I guess it was last May, my wife and I just happened to be walking through Walmart and went into the electronics section. She wanted to go look at something. I was like, I'll be in electronics. You can come find me when you're done.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. So went through and here they were, some pins, had the Mando and Grogu, 507 and 508, hanging on pegs. So I saw those. I was like, oh man, that was cool. I like it. Mando had just recently, we got done with the 2nd season and everything. And
yeah,
I was like, oh, I love it. So I got to grab those. So I picked those up and started researching. I saw the sticker on it that said about the app. I'm like, well,
Nice.
what is this app? I thought these were just pins. And I'm like, man, I wonder if my Deadpools have that on there. Sure enough, came home and they were on there. So that's pretty much how it got started. I started researching more and was very disappointed when I found out that I started too late to be able to get the Vader Ultra. And so my goal is to get enough points and everything in the app to where when the next Ultra came out, I could snag one of those, and managed to find somebody that had an Ultra available that I was able to pick up for a decent price.
That's awesome.
Added it to my Star Wars collection, which basically is everything.
Well, here, hold on a second. Hold on.
There.
Let me make you the spotlight for everyone so they can get a bigger view of that.
Well, you can see this is my Vader Ultra here that I made the Ultra display for, and then the XL. These are some other pins here in the middle, but then these are all of the Star Wars that have come out that I've been able to get my hands on. The few gaps that you see are some of the ones that I'm still missing. Then, of course, now they've added more. So I got down to like, I don't know, 2 or 3 of them, or 3 or 4, I think it was, that I was missing. And now, as of tomorrow, when they release the new Clone Wars ones, I think I'm going to be up to like 12 again. So,
nice.
They just keep coming out with more.
What did you think of Mando season 3 pins? I mean, I'm sorry, Book of Boba Fett, I meant to say.
I like the Book of Boba Fett's. The fact that they finally released a Cad Bane, I was ecstatic about that. I was like, Cad Bane, finally we get that. And then having Mando with the Darksaber, it kind of it's really starting to fill out everything that you're being able to see in Mando.
Yep.
So I was really excited about those.
Very cool. So a friend of ours, Wookie Pool, has asked a very important question. Since you mentioned that you had a friend that was the manager at your GameStop, did you get their L14 logo?
No, he hasn't been a manager there for quite some time now. So unfortunately, I actually didn't even know about that logo until I actually saw her in one of the chats talking about it, and I saw it's like GameStop pin. I went, what the crap? had to go on, FiGPiN DB and look it up and see which one it was. And unfortunately, I don't have any connections at GameStop anymore because all of my friends that work there have now all moved on to other jobs.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
Oh,
Well, there you go,
there's
Wookie Pull.
awesome.
Sorry, there's no L14 logo to be found.
yeah, I thought about you. I really did. And if I could have got my hands on one or two or more, I definitely would have looked you up.
Well, man, that is one of the sought after ones. That's for sure.
Yep.
Very cool.
Heck yeah. Well,
So
I guess
go ahead.
I always want to know more of just the FiGPiN line. You have so many awesome things behind you. Besides, it looks like Star Wars. I heard Deadpool. Are those some Funkos on top? Like, what else other than what all do you got back there? What do you collect?
Oh, well,
Lightsabers?
yeah. Above me here that you can see going around, these are all different Funko Pops. Star Wars up on this side here. And then over here, I've got some of the Witcher from the
Nice.
Netflix series. All the lightsabers that you see here, and there's some off screen you can't see. The ones here in these boxes, and then this box. I was trying to do this looking at my screen here. This box here, those are all the ones from Disney from the legacy line from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney that I've collected, and I have a YouTube channel that I've done reviews on all of those for people to be able to get a real in-depth look and understanding, and just talk about the differences between those. All of it really got started with me really getting back into collecting. Kind of really started right after COVID. I got furloughed from my job right after COVID hit, and I was out of work for a little while. And during that time, we had just before I got furloughed in April of that year, gone to Galaxy's Edge and met up with some guy, or one of the guys that I know that makes custom Kyber crystals.
Nice.
And I don't know if you don't know, at Disney, you're able to build a lightsaber. Looks, some of them look something like this. And inside these, you can actually put different Kyber crystals that they make that you can buy. So we went there, my wife and I, we went and took my oldest son that was still living with us at the time before he got married, and decided we wanted to go and build some lightsabers. Did that.
Savi's workshop.
Yeah, over at Savi's workshop, and decided, what, with my nature, the way I am with collecting things, when I see something, I want all of them. So it basically started out as that. I said, okay, well, we went into Doc Ondar's, which is a store that they have that you can buy all the different color Kyber crystals and get the different voices and stuff. And I was like, okay, I want all the voices. I want every single one that's there. And those are all sitting right here on this case. So I managed to collect all of those over time. And then I found out about custom Kyber crystals. There's a few different guys out there that they started making custom designs that will work in the Savi's lightsabers, as well as the holocrons that you can get voices from. And I found a couple of them online, started researching those a little bit more, and started collecting some of those. Had a falling out, and I'm not going to get into that story because it was a really long story. But had a falling out with one of the guys that make custom Kyber crystals, and decided that, what, nobody's really doing anything for the community that's collecting Kyber crystals. So I decided to go in and create a YouTube channel to where I could do reviews on the Kyber crystals. And that's where the Kyber Curator kind of was born at that point. Okay. Started collecting all the custom Kybers that I could get my hands on. And now I have this shelf here, the second shelf, starting where R2's at. All of these are from one crafter. And then there's some more here on this shelf And then I actually made a display that's kind of off camera over here for another one. Last count, I think, not counting the Disney ones, just the customs, I think I've got like 130 different ones.
Wow.
And because of the YouTube channel that I have and doing the reviews of them and everything, a lot of the guys, they'll actually send them to me for review so that way I can put a video out for when they release their new ones so that people can go and see the review on them right off the bat. So I've kind of started doing that with one of the crafters out there, goes by Crafted Core. But kind of started with that. Then during all of that, I decided I wanted to kind of get into some 3D printing stuff. Kind of jumping forward after collecting all the Kyber crystals in February of 21, literally the day after Super Bowl, I found myself in the hospital and I had had a stroke and ended up having to quit my job in March of 21. And it's been a long road to recovery, and just, I was at home with no income coming in, recovering, just bored out of my mind, looking for a way to kind of contribute to everything in the household because my wife was the only one working at the time. And I decided, you know what, I want to try to do something different. So I want to try 3D printing. I'd heard about it, hadn't really done much with it. So I bought my first 3D printer in April of 21. Started kind of messing around with it, seeing what I could do. I found a couple different sites you could download files and things like that to learn. So I started learning it and found it where I had all of these different pieces of what they call Savi scrap, which are, the different parts that you can buy. They started selling them individually. Well, I bought as many, all the different ones that I wanted, and I had all of these pieces sitting on shelves. And I'm like, I have no way to display this stuff like a lightsaber. Yeah. So I looked and started seeing that there were some people that were trying to make a display that you could put them on. So it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna start looking at that. Well, I talked to one of my friends, one of the Kyber crafters, about it, who does 3D printing as well. And he says, well, if you want to, that's great, but nobody's been able to make one that the parts really fit on good and snug. It's like, okay, I took that as a challenge at that point. I'm like, I want to see if I can do it. So, many, through trial and error, many failed attempts and everything, I finally got it to where the parts would fit perfectly.
Nice.
And started printing them and started offering them on some of the Facebook pages that I was part of, and people really liked them. So I was like, okay, I'll start selling these things. So I opened my Etsy store, which was at that time under a different name, and started doing, selling those. They were going pretty good, but then I started running into some problems where during shipping they were breaking, or they were putting the parts on and they were breaking. So I decided, okay, that's not going to work. I need to step back and go back to the drawing board and figure out what's going on. So I took them down probably for 6 or 8 months and started just going through trying to figure out, and to kind of give you an idea, that's one of the ones that I got back from a person, and it snapped in half and just wasn't going to work. So I went through and started trying to redesign it, figured out some issues that were going on with it, and said, you know what? I need to figure out a better way to do this. So I bought my first resin printer and started printing in resin and started making those. And that's actually what's inside this one is resin printed. And I started putting the logos on them. And I was surprised at just how much better resin printed looked than standard PLA. If you can see the difference in quality.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
I offer those on my store for people that do the Savis with all the different logos. I think I have 15 different logos that I offer. Oh, my camera did not want to focus back. There we go.
There you go.
So that's how it actually started, doing that, and then making displays for Kyber crystals, and was selling those. Then when I got into collecting fig pins, which I pretty much stopped collecting all of my pops at that point, just mainly because I couldn't keep up with them. they were making them so much faster than I can get them, and they were becoming so expensive. I decided, okay, I wanted to start doing fig pins, and my wife's like, well, you got to pick one. It's either pops or fig pins, one of the two. You can't keep going back and forth with everything else. So
well, I'm glad FiGPiN won out, it seems like.
Yeah, FiGPiN did win out. I haven't bought a Funko Pop in quite a while now. So started collecting the fig pins, and got into a lot of the Facebook groups, including What the FiGPiN, and saw a lot of people were, looking for ways to display their fig pins. And I was like, okay, let me start looking and seeing what's out there. And that's when I came across Hero Complex and saw that, he had made a bunch of different things, but a lot of them weren't available at the time.
Yeah.
So I looked at what he had and saw them. It's just really good idea and thought to it, and took that as inspiration and said, okay, well, these aren't available anymore, but people are really looking for different displays. So I was like, I'm going to make myself an ultra display when I got my Vader.
Nice.
And that's pretty much how I got into making all the FiGPiN logos. Or
I mean, Hero Complex, their story is amazing. We're actually hoping, I've been talking with Mike from Hero Complex. Hopefully he'll be on the show sometime shortly. We'll see what when he's available. I know he's a busy man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously the original display for FiGPiN, a very cool story as well. He shared with me how he kind of started. But I like that you went ahead and seen his design as inspiration, and then went ahead and came up with your own piece to that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't want anything that I made to look like a mirror image of somebody else's product. So I've tried to utilize that as inspiration to it, like I said, and see what can I do different to make it a little bit different. So if you've seen any of my ultra displays, which I'm sure many of you have,
yep.
I kind of went with this and decided to put the ultra across the bottom, the little tabs on the side to be able to grab it with, and opening in the back to be able to get to everything. It's very similar to his, and I've talked to Mike and given him props for it, and told him, well, I'm actually still kind of updating stuff on my new website that I've done. And part of that, where I've gotten inspiration from him, I want to give him credit for the inspiration that I've gotten from him on doing that. So cool. I make those with and without the ultra on there. Sorry, I've got a stack of stuff over here.
No, that's awesome, man.
So you've got them without the logo. Oops. Set it down face down, the pin popped out. With and without the ultra on there. So I've got those available on the store. And the whole thing was I was like, with me the way I am, if I'm going to start doing something, I'm going to go all in. I'm jumping all in. So I was like, you know what? I want to make a full line of options for people. So, did the full size
cool
XL logo, so you can display the box with the pin in there. It's got the screw mounts on the back, and then the mount on the side there.
Box collectors.
Yeah. Which, doing that, and then I've got the full line of looks like Battle froze.
Oh, he most likely did freeze.
Yeah. The whole thing is I wanted to make sure that anybody and everybody that may want to display their pins has a way of doing it. So I've been working on sleeveless, because I've had a lot of people asking about sleeveless displays. So I've got a full line of minis
nice.
that you can do, minis on there that are very similar to the regular size, which this is the what I call 4x1 regular size that you can get. And then I've got the full size ones for the XL logos, me sit these down for a second. Sorry about that. Full size for XL pins as well, where you can get 2 of those. So I've got a number of different options, and I tried to make sure and make it to where, you know, you could piece it together. Like the displays back here, this is a combination of the 8-pin or 4x2 that I have. The 3x2s for the 6 pins, 2 pins, one above another, you know, so that you can kind of piece it together and fit it around what you've got. This one here, they're actually the gaps that you see. Most of them are my shelf brackets for the shelf above it. So I have them kind of going around the shelves and stuff.
Very cool.
And I just kind of glanced over, I saw Giddy Up. You can use command strips on them. I would recommend, though, if you do use command strips, at least do them on the sides. Don't do just top and bottom, because I've had stuff fall off the wall because the top one can't hold the weight by itself. But I would recommend, if you can, use thinner ones and do like on the 4 sides or something like that. And if you're gonna lay them side by side, you can put one strip in there and put both of them on there to kind of hold it in place.
Yeah.
I don't have any of mine done with command strips. I just did it with regular screws. But I know, like, a lot of times that people live in apartments or places that they can't drill holes in the wall, screws into the wall, you know, they may not want to do it that way. So
yeah. So, and before we get any further, there were some questions I did see. So when we had you a lot bigger, someone was asking about who does the cane belong to? What character? I'm assuming maybe it's above your left shoulder.
Yeah, that up there, that is actually Emperor Palpatine's cane that he has in episodes, I guess when he showed up in episode 5 and 6.
Nice.
Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. My
Very
wife
cool.
got that for me for Christmas two Christmases ago, because they sold those at Galaxy's Edge as well. And so she snagged that for me because I saw it one day and I was like, oh, I want that one. She's like, you can't have it.
That's awesome.
Got him.
And then I also see the important question is Clone Wars or Rebels?
I'm kind of torn on that, honestly. I love Clone Wars, has so much in it. You get the whole backstory of Ahsoka, and you get to see Asajj Ventress and all the other characters. But when I watched Rebels and I saw how the story played out for Ezra and Kanan, it really pulled at me. So I'm kind of torn between those two. I would have to say, if I had to lean towards one more than the other, would have to be Clone Wars.
Nice,
honestly.
Very cool. Well, and I guess since we're asking questions like that, I know you haven't mentioned it at all, and me and Punk Zandy, we still have this whole thing going on between us of DBZ versus MHA. So where does, I don't even know if you watch anime, but where does your allegiance lie between those two?
I'll be honest with you. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, but I've never really been a whole lot into a lot of the animes.
Okay, no worries, man.
My oldest son, loves it. I've actually gave him and his wife, they've been married for a year now. I gave them some My Hero Academia pins for Christmas. So they're really big into FiGPiNs or into anime. So anytime I've gotten a hold of some of them, I've given them to them. She really likes Attack on Titan. So I gave her, some of the ones I got from those as well.
Nice, very cool.
So,
one question I have for you that I think is a perfect time, especially after we just looked at some of your products, we talked about your reviews. Can I get you to maybe do a plug and tell everybody when and where and how we can find all of these things, where to look you up at, all that good stuff?
Absolutely. I have the easiest way to do it, honestly, is just to go to my link tree, which
I'm putting it in the chat right now for you again.
Okay. Well, I've got a full link tree, and I think I sent you that. And
I just put it in the chat for you.
Yeah. It has connections to every single one of my social medias. It has it to my merch store, my YouTube channel, my Etsy store, which is transitioned from just Etsy to an actual front page. And it looks like, oh, my lights just went off behind me. I forgot at 10 o'clock it does that.
That's cool.
So that's the beauty of Alexa. Hold on just a second.
Boom. That was
There.
awesome. That was cool.
So yeah, did that just for the heck of it. LED lights underneath the shelves and stuff to light everything up. So
So cool.
But I know
That's
one
great.
of the things that people have been asking about, and it's honestly the main reason why I wanted to come on your show and talk to you guys, was the box set display that I've been working on.
Oh.
I know a lot of people have been asking about it. They've been wanting to see it. I've teased with some pictures and stuff here and there. So I've got my
let me make, if you're going to show something, let me make you big so everyone can get a good look at you.
I've got my most recent prototype. I think this is almost what it's going to be. And just to fill everybody in, you know, I know I've been teasing it for quite a while. I think November was when I first started talking about it. My whole thing is this: I'm not going to sell something to anybody out there that I wouldn't be willing to pay my own money for. So if I'm not happy with it and I'm not satisfied with it, I'm not going to let you purchase it. That's just the way I am. But I wanted everybody to see what we've got and kind of give you a rundown of how this is going to work. Let's see here. So this is the top half that you can see. You'll be able to put the box in the top half of this.
Nice.
And then let me set this to the side. That was an old version of it that isn't going to be used. And then you have the bottom half, which is where all your pins are at. The reason I say this isn't complete yet is because I'm still working on the logo location to make this a little bit more detailed. It's just kind of an opening right now. I want to say thanks to Mike again over at Hero Complex, because he helped me with the file I need to be able to really get that to look nice. And you're probably asking about this opening right here.
I know it.
Definitely interested what that is.
Yep. This is going to be your base model that you'd be able to get. What's nice about this is these magnetic together.
Nice.
Okay. So you'll be able to, sorry about that, hit my mic. You'll be able to put them on your shelf. You'll be able to set them on your desk, or you'll be able to mount them to the wall, however you decide to do it. It's going to be your choice. The back does have screw mount locations on here that are big enough for command strips to be able to go on. So that's where the top half is at. On the bottom, you do have the openings on the back with more command strips. There is going to be another opening here that I'm kind of still working on getting that all dialed in. But it's going to be the FiGPiN logo here, and that's going to be an opening for you to be able to reach from the backside. Because with this being your base model, what I'm going to be doing is offering, because I know I mentioned this before, I teased about it, about having it to where you can have the branding logos on the boxes. When I first did the branding logos, they just didn't quite turn out how I wanted them. As I tried to print them more and more, I was missing some of the letters, like where it says the Mandalorian. The THE basically was just 3 lines, because the printer, the size of the nozzle I'm using, will not print the letters clearly defined to where you can see them. So what I'm going to be offering for everybody to be able to get, based on what your needs are going to be individual nameplates.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So I'm going to be doing standard nameplates. It's just going to have the name on them. And then I'm going to have a limited run of them that will be hand painted like these are. These will be magnetic into the opening here. As you can see, there's a couple little holes. So these will literally just snap into place, and you can make the box set the way you want it to be for whatever display or whatever box set you're wanting to put on it. So whether it's, you know, you want to put it as Assassin's Creed, you'll be able to do Assassin's Creed.
Sweet.
So those
That's
are
awesome,
going to be an option. It'll be a separate purchase piece that you'll be able to get based on your need. And the whole thing right now it's going to take some time to be able to do all of this because of the size of these box sets and the amount of time it takes to make them. As a result, I've actually ordered a second printer to be able to do it where I can run the top half on one printer, the bottom half on another printer. And I'm using a new belt printer made by Creality. So basically I can just go turn it on, tell it to spit 10 of them out, and it'll just spit 10 of them out one after another.
Cool.
So
Nice.
I figured by doing it this way, where I can make it customizable to, you know, anybody that's wanting to get it, I'll be able to just continuously print the base model for you, and you'll be able to purchase that. And then you can go and get your matching brand logo that you want to get. So I'm going to do a pre-order for them so that I can get the second printer because it's not cheap to get those. And the initial pre-order, and I know it's going to be it's not going to be what everybody wants, but I have to limit it just starting out for me being comfortable with doing it. I'm going to put a pre-order up starting Friday for 50 units to start with.
Okay.
Now with this, well, I can't put them up there for that many to be bought at one time by each person. So it's going to be a limit on how many you can get. But I'm going to make it interesting for everybody. Okay. Cause you know, I see it all the time on the Discord channels and the Facebook pages and all that. Everybody's all about artist proofs. They're all about, you know, when it comes to Funkos, they're all about first to markets. So here's what I'm going to do to make it more interesting for everybody. Those limited 50 units, I'm going to have the first 10, I'm going to hand write. They're going to be artist proofs. So those will be sent out random. Okay. It's going to be completely random. Just because you put out or you get the first order on the list doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get one of the artist proofs. But they're going to be numbered 1 to 10 AP, and then I'll sign it myself on there. And then all of the remaining 40 of them will be listed as first to market. And those will be numbered also 1 to 40 first to market.
Cool.
They're only going to be done in black right now. I will offer a white version later on for everybody who's got your Sailor Moon and your One Pieces and all that. You know, you'll be able to get those. And because I'm doing as a pre-order, I'm going to be doing actually a little bit cheaper price to start out with for everybody because, you know, of how long it's going to take to kind of get things going. Cause I've got to get the printer in, I got to get it set up and start printing these things. So the initial price for the pre-order is going to be $40. And then, you know, shipping on, you know, whatever it costs to ship to your location. And if everything goes good, I'm hoping to start shipping these out mid to late March. I'm hoping no later than mid-April because of how much time they take. Each one of these pieces takes right at or just over a day to print each one.
Yep.
So the most I'm going to be able to do right now would be 25 to 30 in a month, just because of how long they take. My goal is as I get the funds rolling in is to add additional printers to my print farm to where I can make more of them in the month, because I know there's a lot of people out there that have, 5, 10, 20, I know there's 18 different box sets out there right now that,
there's I need 18, my bad.
Yeah, there's 750 to 1,000 units produced for each one of those 18 box sets. So I know I have my work cut out for me for anybody who's wanting to get these. So just bear with me, you know, that it's going to take a little bit of time. As far as the nameplates go, those are going to come out once the initial launch itself happens. So I'm not going to have the pre-orders are not going to have the nameplates to start out with. It's going to be they're just going to be the base models. But with the nameplates, I'm going to be making those in batches, and each batch that I put out, you know, I'll put them on the site, you know, in those batches, and I'll do a few artist proofs for those as well. And
Cool.
the artist proofs ones will be the artist proofs will be the hand painted ones. So I'll do some of those. I don't know what the count's going to be yet on those. And then the other ones you'll have the regular style. Tentative, that doesn't mean that's exactly how it's going to be yet. I haven't fully decided yet because it does take some
It's a
time to
work in
hand paint
progress.
each one of these.
Amen to that.
Yep.
So like to be able to get the coloration to look good on there, that's like 3 coats of paint on there
Yeah.
to be able to get those. So it does take some time.
So yeah, it definitely, looking at the chat, there's, you know, some people asking how many box sets there are, +5 they'll take of how many they want.
Yeah.
And then of course I did see someone asking about the 4-piece box sets. So you have Naruto, you have the Kiss set, you have
Stranger
was it
Squid Games.
Squid Games? Yep.
And then why can't I think of the other one? Oh, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
So people were asking about the 4-pin box set. You know, any thoughts about that in the future?
Yes.
Someone just went ahead and asked about what about the Spider-Man pizza box? I don't know. I'm not even sure if there's a 3D printer that's currently on the market for residential use that can make that size to fit that, but maybe there is.
Well, here's the whole thing. I don't have one of those, so I've got nothing to base the sizing off of for measurement. I saw a comment that one person made earlier today in one of the groups that I was looking at about doing like I've done and buy pins and use them as as a business expense, you know, to be able to make my my different displays and everything. Everything that you see, I've actually bought a pin to fit in there and measured it out to make sure that they fit. So when I started doing the ultra displays, I probably printed and threw away probably 10 of those.
Yeah.
Before I got them right. And the box
We
set
also-
display.
We also can't forget about now this box set. Right?
Yes, that one is
needs its
epic.
own. You know, it needs its own love too. So
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Gradually,
Good
I'm
one,
going
buyer.
to try to be making making those for everything out there. So, you know, I've got a 4-piece set. I've got the Squid Games box set that I came across at Thanksgiving up at my in-laws place. The Walmart they have up there had it, and I looked at my wife and said, I got to buy that. I've got to make it to be able to make the box display for it. She just kind of rolled her eyes at me. It's like, okay, you know.
Right off.
But
so-
I
Sorry,
Go
Sean.
ahead.
You said 18. Does that include the? Is it 18 box sets, including the D23 box set, or is there actually 19?
that's just me looking at the 4 and 5-piece sets, and that's an estimation off of FiGPiN DB.
Okay.
Pulling up just box sets on there and looking. There's more than that I know of, but I'm kind of basing it off of the 5-pin sets and the 4-pin sets right now. I know like what is it here? My Hero Academia, I think it was one that they didn't come with sleeves. So I know that's something that's been asked of me. You know,
Yeah.
am I going to have ones for sleeveless sets, you know, or people that don't have the sleeves anymore, or don't want to use the sleeves? The answer to that is yes. Those will come down the pipe at a later time once I have the regular size box set with sleeves locked down to that design, because then I can take that and use that as a base to resize for the sleeveless ones
Very
as
cool.
I go
What a-
forward.
about
Awesome.
the jokers like myself who have the sleeve on it and then add an additional protective sleeve on it?
I had one person reach out to me asking me about that as well, and was gracious enough to send me a few sleeves. So I do have some of those protective sleeves to go over the sleeve that the pins are in as well. And that will be something that I will be working on as well. So my goal is to make my store a one-stop shop for anybody and everybody out there looking for ways of being able to display their pins in whatever fashion, whatever configuration, whatever design you want. And I'll say this, if I don't have something that fits your needs, shoot me a message and I'll see what I can do.
Awesome.
I've had a couple people reach out to me and I'm making custom stuff for them.
That's awesome. So CNES just went ahead and said no love for the Call of Duty 4 set there. So there's this random set here that I just went ahead and put a little spot here that is just held up there. So yeah, I mean that.
Well, I'll tell you what, John, if you can get me the dimensions of that, I'll work on it.
All right, sounds good, man. Very cool. I know that there's, Van Harris, I'm not sure if there's been a scheduled snap or Van Harris just went ahead and announced that he's having a snap happening. This was a few minutes ago now, so there was T-minus 4 minutes for a snap. So I don't know if anyone is interested, but it looks like there might be a snap happening that has not been announced. That was just announced on What the FiGPiN. So if you're looking to have a, get into the game to play the snap boost, trivia game there, go ahead and try to get into the unlocker room and see if you can get a pin snapped by Van Harris. I believe he's the one snapping, or there's a possible scheduled snap from someone else.
Oh man.
Well, if that's the case, people have already started to jump on it because my screen's frozen.
It's very possibly true. Yep.
Hey, us FiGPinners love to crash everything. That's awesome.
Yeah. Everyone left the chat to go ahead and start trying to get their pins into the unlocker room there. Did we discuss the limits per purchase? Yeah, did we discuss the limits per purchase? Yes, I believe SHaun went ahead and said that it is going to definitely be limited. I don't know if SHaun has decided on how many it is going to be limited to, but SHaun, you said Friday will be the pre-order release. The release, not a pre-order available this Friday. I'm not sure if you shared a time or not.
That's the plan, is Friday to have it available. I know that most everybody is working during the middle of the day and not able to go on there and grab stuff. A lot of times when it gets dropped, different things get dropped by FiGPiN, at that what is it, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern time. So I'll probably am going to make it later in the evening to be able to give people some time to maybe be able to get home and get a chance to do that. I am going to limit, honestly, to 1 per person to start out with for the pre-order. Okay. So that way, it gives a better availability for people to grab them.
Awesome.
And do that. So as I get closer and I figure out exactly what time it is, I'll post on my Instagram and my Twitter, my Facebook, all those, so that way everybody can see, exactly when it's going to go down.
Very cool. And people are asking, what time zone are you going to be releasing it in? Are you going to specify?
I'll specify. I'm Eastern, so I'm
the better of the side of the coast.
We got it, I'm other side of the country from most people that I've seen. So it'll be Eastern time for me, but I'm going to put on there, a Pacific time and Eastern time.
Yep. So everybody and just so
time where you at.
I did see a comment before by our friend Goon. What the FiGPiN had nothing to do with 50 being released. SHaun, if you have a tech person that you need to go ahead and have available, make sure that they're on call when you release it, because your website's about to go ahead and crash on Friday when you pre-release these things. Because we'll go ahead and make sure we get the word out for you, my friend.
Well, I appreciate that. The main thing is I wanted to be able to give the viewers, because there's 43 people watching right now. and then you got you two. So there's 45 of them. If everybody here on the stream tonight grabs it, that leaves 5 more for, somebody else to get their hands on. But I mean, that's just literally, I came up with that information today. I've been throwing it around and stuff. So I started working on all the details earlier today as far as, the specifics on everything for you.
All right. And I have not seen, I know, although FiGPiN Alerts did comment that he was interested, he has not posted on his channel either. So I'm sure if he goes ahead and decides to post on his channel with the screenshot of your box set displays, I'm sure he'll go ahead and be plenty more people aware of it as well.
You know how he does it is he's always the first mover everything. So come Friday night, all of a sudden everybody's gonna be like, FiGPiN Alerts posted. Oh, ding, 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 ding. That's how it always goes, right?
Very true. Yep.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, no one's asked this question, but just to make sure, they're getting the top bracket that comes for the box itself, and then they will get the bottom piece that has the actual pins, the place for the nameplate, as well as the FiGPiN logo.
So when you place the order, you'll get that minus my pins and my box. So you'll get this display that you'll be able to use. So
that's awesome.
When you place the order, it's the top half, it's the bottom half, and then, like I said, the nameplates will come up at a later time.
Very cool.
Great.
FiGPiN Alerts is asking, do you want him to go ahead and post about it?
You want
FiGPiN Alerts? I don't want to go ahead and say yes, and then people get mad how we did last time. So it's totally
I'll put it this way: if the servers crash, it's Etsy's fault because my website is through Etsy. So if it crashes, it's on their side.
There you go.
They should have the bandwidth. They got you.
I would hope they do.
I mean, look, Shaun, it looks like you have a lot of people interested. It definitely, I remember seeing it when you had the first prototypes of it. It looks amazing. This idea looks even more tuned in, and definitely a cool concept. So everyone's excited about it. I'm excited about it. I'm sure Battle's excited about it. So yeah, congratulations, man. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys a lot. The whole thing is I want to be able to not only make something that I can use, but something that everybody else can use, and make them as quick as I can. So
yep. Oh, it's very cool.
Need to hang them on the wall is real.
Yeah.
Yes, very so much so. We went ahead and shared Kyber Curator's link tree with all of the links to his social medias. We'll also go ahead and shoot that into, I posted on Facebook, and Battle, if you can go ahead and just add it to, I'll send you the link if you can add it to the IG post as well, just so that we can get Shaun's info out there on the different social media platforms with the link for his link tree. Man, we've talked about so much. Two questions. One, your single most expensive FiGPiN purchase.
That would have to be my Vader Ultra.
Okay.
Nice.
And if your wife is there, you can ask her to earmuff it so she don't have to hear it. But
I'll just say it was more than I wanted to spend. I'll leave it at that.
No worries.
It wasn't as bad as, it was nowhere near as bad as some of the costs I've seen on, as I like to call it, Evil Bay. Because the one that I got was already unlocked. Unfortunately, the snap had already been used. At that point, I really just wanted the pin set. That was my main thing. But to kind of make up for it, I do have 2 of the Altair Ultra sets.
Nice.
That are I got mine that's unlocked, and that I've got maxed out already. And then I have one that's kind of sitting there, trying to decide if I want to hold on to it or if I want to go ahead and put it out there for somebody that may have missed it at the time. So it was actually kind of comical. I only purchased one, but if you guys remember the debacle that was trying to buy them on FiGPiN's app, it glitched and it charged me twice. So they sent me 2.
Wow.
Cool.
So when I got 2 of them in the mail, I was like, hey, great. I got an extra one.
Yeah, no complaints there. That's for sure.
Yeah,
No.
that's awesome.
Awesome. All right. Well, and we're just getting some feedback here that there was a double snap in the unlocker room just now. So I was glad I guess that was like a what the FiGPiN exclusive snap. You know, it was announced
I
here.
guess
I'm not
so.
sure if it was announced before, so that was cool. And there was a double snap on it. So hopefully you guys were able to get some pins in there and get your pin snapped. The other thing, Shaun, I wanted to ask you, what would you like to see on FiGPiN's vision board as far as either a specific character or a new license that has not been announced or already part of their lineup?
I honestly, I'd like to see like stuff from the NHL. I'm a big hockey fan.
Nice.
I've got like 2 shelves above me up here that are full of hockey pucks and things from Stanley Cup and things like that. So I'm a real big hockey fan, love it. So I'd like to see that come out. Because we've got MLB, we've got some I've seen some, the NBA, and I'd like to see maybe some NFL at some point. I know there was, some stuff that was there, but nothing real. I'd like to see more from Blizzard Gaming, honestly. There's only been a few that they've put out.
Yep.
And I've got 3 of them that I've managed to get my hands on. I'm still working on trying to get the rest of them, but stuff like that. I'd like to see more of those.
Very cool, man. Love those ideas for sure. Did you guys see, and obviously I'm sure you'll have to go ahead and, do you have any logo displays, or are you staying away from the logo displays?
I'm
Like specific
working
logo
on,
displays. Obviously I know that your box set has the logo piece to it.
yeah. As far as like 4 logos, I'm working on one currently that will insert into the openings on my wall displays.
Nice. Very cool.
And I've got an option that are not numbered, and then options that you can buy that will be, have the number for each individual logo. So if you're collecting all the logos, you can, buy if you have some of the wall displays that I have, you can put those in there and they just slide. The thought is to have it to where they'll slide in and mount flush against the current wall display.
That's awesome, man. Very cool. Speaking about logos, were either of you able to go ahead and get yesterday's Valentine's Day logo?
No,
I know.
I didn't try.
I typically bring my phone with me to lunch, and I rushed out of my office and went ahead and grabbed lunch, and came back and I saw after I was done with work, I'm like, I cannot believe the one day I do not bring my phone to lunch. There's an amazing drop with an awesome logo. It was a 500 edition lot size of it. It looked amazing. I am aware that FiGPiN updated the invoices so if you did meet the criteria for $45 or more, as well as the first 500 orders, your order should now have a logo attached to it if it is eligible for the logo. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check out your invoice number. It will tell you if you have, not your invoice number, check out your invoice. It will tell you if you got the logo or not. So congratulations to those that did get it. I know you're a big fan of Star Wars. We already mentioned that there was a drop tomorrow. Are you excited for all the 4 pins being released tomorrow, Shaun?
Oh, absolutely.
So out of the 4, we have Asajj Ventress, is it Pre Vizsla, Cad Bane, and then Darth Maul. So who's your favorite one out of them?
Honestly, I have been waiting for an Asajj Ventress one to come out.
Really?
So I thought she was one character that was very involved in the Clone Wars, and we haven't had a pin for her yet. So I was excited when I saw that. Darth Maul with his kind of robotic spider legs, I thought that was really nice to see. Seeing Pre Vizsla, I was like, I really was surprised to see that one. I'm just honestly hoping that we don't have too much of a problem getting that one. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But in the Cad Bane, seeing a second Cad Bane, I mean, finally giving some love to him. So I was happy to see that too.
Yeah, definitely.
Which,
I mean,
that
I'm
said, is
excited
part
that,
of the reason why I didn't go after the logo.
They need to save them for the others. Absolutely.
I am
Yeah.
excited that Cad Bane, which is a limited edition of 1,000, goes to good friends of What the FiGPiN pops and
Mhm.
pins. So if you have not checked out already, Chris did post on his social media platform as well as What the FiGPiN Chasers, FiGPiN fans Discord. He has an amazing promotion going on with some pretty cool APs available. So take a look at that. It is releasing tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you're checking out popsandpins.com. I did try to reach out to Tyler from Even to see if he had any promotional material that I can go ahead and post to promote the pre-Vizsla, but I have not heard back from him. So hopefully we'll hear back from him and get you guys the information of if he's doing anything special with his release for his Evened exclusive pre-Vizsla.
That's funny you say that, because I tried to chat with him a little bit earlier today. He had said that we were on the list of people he needed to get back to, but he had a meeting at 4, and then he's going to try to sneak us in after that. But he's a very busy soul, so hopefully we will know.
And you mentioned FiGPiN Chasers. If anybody on here is an admin for FiGPiN Chasers, I've been trying to get back into that group since my Facebook account got hacked back in November. And every time I go in there and submit for it, it comes back. For some reason, I have to resubmit again. So if you see my name pop up, I am trying to get back in there. The other one needs to get kicked out.
Okay. Well, I'll reach out to Jeff and see if he can help you out there. Legacy Fox, thank you so much. She's letting us be aware that Evened will not be releasing pre-Vizsla tomorrow. So
Okay.
that is news that we just heard. FiGPiN said they're not releasing. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't see that message from FiGPiN earlier today if they did announce that. So but thank you, Legacy, for the information. So we're only going to have the Cad Bane, Asajj Ventress, and Darth Maul available tomorrow. So check out Pops and Pins. I'm not sure of the other retailers if they're going to carry the other commons, but you also have FiGPiN that will have the 2 commons as well. But definitely excited. Chris, congratulations again on another amazing exclusive. Excited to go ahead and see that. What else did we want to talk about today, guys?
Since we're on the things with Pops and Pins, make sure tomorrow night on Whatnot, there's going to be doing their live show. They got another Redemption Mania happening. Always a fun time over there. Make sure you drop in, tell them hi, show them some love.
Very cool. Yeah, definitely do not forget about Whatnot Wednesdays with Pops and Pins, and then you have Tag 'em Thursdays with Whatnot as well. So make sure that you're taking a look at those 2 shows. Both Johnny and Chris are amazing people, and they have absolutely amazing pins available to go ahead and win. So it's lots of fun being on there. And even if you want to stop by and chat, just like we have a lot of fun here, it's an amazing time as well on Whatnot, chatting it up. I did have one question. Shaun, were you able to get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Pins on Fire? Did you get those pins?
No, I didn't. And I kind of got some flack from people because I said, the main reason why I didn't get it is because, I grew up on the TV show, and them not having the colored bandanas kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
And when I said to myself, well, maybe I will, and went back in, the bundle was sold out at that time. And I did see with one of the alerts that it did come back as a restock, but my passion and everything being for Star Wars, I'm having to hold on to those funds to get those new Star Wars pins.
Hey, they have to do it.
Definitely.
Plus, if I started getting another IP brand, my wife would probably freak out. So I can say that for the first time, I think ever, I've actually found something that my wife is enjoying collecting with me.
Ooh,
That's
So
awesome.
I've gotten her into doing fig pins now. So she's
nice.
mainly sticking with Disney stuff. She loves the Disney princesses and all that. We've had passes for Disney since we started dating back a long time ago. I'll put it that way.
That's awesome. Well, make sure that you go ahead and reach out to Fry Guy pins. They have amazing Disney pins and also some amazing bundles as well as chances at APs for the Disney princesses with fig pins. So
Okay.
make sure you're checking them out. Battle. Let me ask you a question. Were you? I believe you were not able to get the turtle box set, right?
That you're just trying to make me feel bad, aren't you, man?
And then
straight to
someone
my
said to
heart.
you like, "Hey, don't worry about it. I have an extra one. I'll give it to you." And then I said, "Hey, here's the codes for you
because they're about to unlock.
Yep. So make sure you get them in there. Battle. How did you do on unlock day today? How was your unlocks with those amazing serial numbers that all started with numbers? How did you do on unlocks, my friend?
Well, I guess I'll have to check the UR and see what the latest unlock number is, and that'll probably be right after that.
So, Battle, are you telling me that you forgot to unlock your pins that were amazing serial numbers to get some pretty low unlocks?
Yes, this is
Oh my
true.
gosh, Battle.
Man, I've been failing at FiGPiN. It's just been crazy. I got back to work Sunday. I missed the Valentine's, couldn't stop to get that. I was actually putting in the serial numbers one day when you sent them to me, but something came up and I had to put my phone down and I wasn't able to start claiming them. And so, yeah. So, and then somebody was telling me, I think it was Alex in the chat earlier today, she was just like, well, okay, well, if it's not a number, if it's a letter, maybe you'll have a better chance at, chases. And I'm just like, so I missed first unlocks or like lower unlock possibles, and I'm not going to get a chase. Like, oh man, I just screwed myself.
Well, I'm sure you'll go ahead and you'll get some chases, my friend. I'm sure you will.
Oh man, I'm gonna hunt them down. You know me and my love for my turtles. I'm on a hunt. So yeah, definitely an awesome set from Pins on Fire. Make sure you always check out their bundles. I know they're doing their mystery boxes. I'm super excited to see what those chases start looking like coming out. Man, just an overall awesome appearance. Oh yeah,
love the Pins on Fire.
They do good stuff over there.
Oh yeah. I've got a shelf full of different logos from some of the different ones out there up here. So I've liked that. I will say logo wise, those are the ones I've started collecting more logos than just the FiGPiN logos, because the custom ones that all these guys are making, they're amazing. I love them.
They're really good.
Oh, well, that's beautiful.
I forget who all makes all of theirs, but I know our good friend Bendy Sticks has been a part of making some of the other, groups and places, pins and all that. He does a fantastic job. So I love those ones as well.
Yeah, Bendy, I did manage to get the one from Bendy Sticks.
Oh, Boost, awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
Got that one. That's an awesome pin. I like that. It's one of those ones that's numbered. And I will say the only logo I'm really missing that I want is the Starfield that goes with the Star Wars stuff. So I will say, if anybody out there has a Starfield that wants to trade, I've got a couple logos. I know they're hard to see. I'm willing to trade to get that thing, because that's the only one that I don't have that I want. So if you got something, reach out to me. I'd appreciate it.
Very cool.
Yeah,
guys, if you can help Shaun out with that Starfields logo, that'd be awesome. Shaun, anything else that you want to go ahead and I did just put in your website, kybercuratordesigns.com. So make sure you guys are checking that out. We already shared on the chat here your Linktree information. Anything else that you would like to go ahead and share before we go ahead and get going for the evening?
No, I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support you guys are giving me for the box set and all the displays and everything. It means a lot. It's really helped out with me and my family, with being able to try to catch up on things from me being out of work. So thank you guys. God bless you all for helping me out. I do appreciate it.
That's awesome, man. Very cool. Battle, anything to finish the evening, my friend?
Man, I'll kind of just say what you just said, but reflect it back to you. We appreciate you taking your time, energy, and love to come back out, speak with us, doing these great things for FiGPiN and all these other collectibles. As you know, we have our own addictions with them, and you were filling a need for us. So thank you very much for taking the time to do that for us. Everybody in the chat, love to have you here. Thanks again for joining in. Thanks for all the input. John, thanks for rubbing my turtles in my face, but I'm gonna fix it. And nah, I'm just kidding. Much love, John. I appreciate you always trying to help me out, man. Other than that, I'm excited for all the drops. Make sure you're watching. Follow everybody on their socials. Make sure to go in and select it so that when they do post, it pops up so you don't miss the drops. And as always, I am looking forward to next week. Make sure you
Shaun,
sign up. Come chat with us.
Definitely. Shaun, Legacy Fox is asking, is L50 the logo that you're looking for? Do you know the number by hand? The Starfield logo?
I'll tell you here in just a second. I'll pull up my my database that I have here.
And
Yeah.
so, and as Shaun's doing that, Wookie Pool, there is buy sell trade on what the FiGPiN. We do not have the bandwidth to go ahead and monitor it. So some of the rules that we do have, there is a chat set up on Facebook that you can go ahead and post your buy sell trade on there. You can also do it on just our regular Facebook profile page. We ask that you go ahead and make sure you have a timestamp on the picture. If you're selling an AP, you need to have a screenshot of the stats from the app. And we also want to make sure that you're sharing if the pin is locked or unlocked, as well as a price for the pin. But we do not have the bandwidth to go ahead and monitor all of that stuff. So it is kind of at your own risk. Highly recommend you use PayPal goods and services to go ahead and have some protection if you are buying. But we do go ahead and allow people to go ahead and buy, sell, or trade on those different channels.
And to respond, yes, Legacy Fox is correct. It is the L50 pin.
Yep. So L50 is what Shaun's looking for, guys. So if anyone can help him out, it would be appreciated. Make sure you reach out to him. He does have some pins for trade as well. So if you're missing those pins, hit him up. Let me just see some of the last comments here. Yep. Okay. I think we're good. Shaun, I'm not sure if you stayed till the end of the show this long. And I'm just going to put myself on mute because.
I'm going to dive really quick.
Sorry. Yeah. I felt like I swallowed a fly. I'm not sure if you stayed with us this long, but we go ahead and Battle will count down from 3 to 1 or whatever number he decides to start on. And we will go ahead and shout out Boost Awesome. If you're okay with doing that, we appreciate you joining us. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a wonderful evening. Shaun, you're absolutely amazing. Congratulations with everything that you do. I know I'm jealous of your display in the background, so keep up the great work. If there's anything we can do to continue to support you, make sure you're reaching out to us, especially Friday, so we can go ahead and share that information to get people to your website to purchase the pre-order for the box set display wall units. And we will see you guys next Tuesday. And Battle, I haven't talked to you about this, but I've actually been trying to think of something that we can do fun for next week. So let's go ahead and touch base sometime in the next few days here so I can go ahead and pick your brain about it. But guys, thank you so much. Battle, I will leave it up to you, my friend.
Excellent. Sounds good. Thank you all. Good night. In 3, 2, 1.
Boost Awesome.
Boost Awesome, guys.
Have a great night, everyone.
Thanks.